Gambling addiction destroys about 10 million lives each year, Ben. But here's the twist. Sometimes the most dangerous gamblers are the ones who've never placed a bet. Today's story from 19th century Russia proves that obsession can be deadlier than addiction.
That's such an interesting point about obsession versus addiction, Pappy. And this story, The Queen of Spades by Alexander Pushkin, really shows how that obsession can consume someone completely.
You know what's fascinating about our main character, Hermann? He's an engineer, educated, logical, methodical, the last person you'd expect to be destroyed by a supernatural gambling tale.
Well, that's what makes it so chilling. He doesn't start as a gambler, he just watches others play night after night, calculating odds and studying patterns.
Right? And then he hears this story about three magical cards that supposedly guarantee winning. The secret belonged to this elderly countess who learned it decades ago in Paris from the mysterious Count Saint Germain.
Hmm, and that's where things get interesting. The historical Count Saint Germain was actually a real figure, this enigmatic character who moved through European high society claiming to be immortal.
The way Hermann pursues this secret is absolutely methodical. He essentially creates this elaborate psychological operation, targeting the Countess's young ward, Lizaveta, writing passionate love letters, standing in the rain for hours outside their house.
You know what's truly disturbing? The calculated nature of his manipulation. He's literally willing to destroy two women's lives just to get at the secret.
And when he finally confronts the Countess in her bedroom, that's when we see how far he's fallen. This educated military officer threatening an elderly woman in the middle of the night. The power dynamics are horrifying.
Well, that confrontation proves fatal for the Countess. She dies of fright. But that's not even the end of the story, is it?
No, because then Pushkin takes us into full supernatural territory. The Countess's ghost appears to Hermann and actually gives him what he wanted, the secret of the three cards, the three, the seven, and the ace.
But with those specific conditions, play one card per night, never gamble again after the third. It's like a dark fairy tale contract.
And at first it works perfectly. He wins with the three, then wins again with the seven. The tension building toward that final night is excruciating.
So, what makes this story resonate so strongly even today?
I think it's because we still see these patterns everywhere. Look at cryptocurrency. People convinced they found the secret to guaranteed wealth, or day trading schemes promising three easy steps to financial freedom.
That's exactly right. We might not believe in ghosts anymore, but we still believe in shortcuts to fortune.
And the ending, when Hermann plays what he thinks is the ace, but turns over the Queen of Spades instead, it's like a perfect metaphor for how these get rich quick schemes always end.
Well, the symbolism there is fascinating. In card reading, the Queen of Spades represents intelligence and power, but also malice and bad luck.
And Hermann doesn't just lose his money, he loses his mind. Ends up in an asylum repeating 3-7 ace, 3-7 queen over and over. Studies show that people who experience sudden financial loss are 1.6 times more likely to develop mental health issues.
That's such a relevant statistic, especially when you consider how many people today are gambling their savings on speculative investments.
The story was so powerful that Tchaikovsky turned it into an opera in 1890. But what's really interesting is how each generation finds new meaning in it. In the 1920s, it was about the stock market. In the 2000s, about the housing bubble. Now it's crypto and AI trading.
The fundamental human weakness remains the same, doesn't it? That desperate belief that we can somehow outsmart the system.
And that's what makes this story timeless. It's not really about gambling or ghosts or even greed. It's about how the pursuit of easy fortune can blind us to the real treasures we're destroying along the way.
Like Hermann's engineering career, his reputation, his sanity, all sacrificed for these 3 magical cards that might not have even been real.
You know what's really tragic? Studies show that steady investment and compound interest over time actually create more wealth than any get-rich-quick scheme. Hermann could have built real wealth with his engineering salary, but that wasn't enough. He had to have it all, and he had to have it now.
Mm-hmm. A very modern kind of madness, Pappy.
And maybe that's the real ghost story, Ben, not the Countess's spirit, but the specter of easy money that still haunts us today, whispering about secret formulas and guaranteed returns, leading us down the same dark path that destroyed Hermann nearly 2 centuries ago.